Hello guys, I'm back on my server, and this is actually going to be a part 2 to a rant, something that I just thought of, because as you already know by now, I do sell a lot of things cheap normally when I can, except over the last week where I had to start selling them at towards the average price. I'm trying to keep it as cheap as possible, but I had to sell them a bit more than I normally would for stuff that I was selling to try to make enough money to buy a ridiculously overpriced God Divine Heaven Sword, right, for 7 mil. Exactly the same type of Divine. It's a Heaven Sword that is being sold on the China server for 4 mil 800,000. Okay? Now, at the time, I only had about 400k. I didn't even have 1 mil. So I sold everything, as explained in part 1 of my rant. And yeah, I was able to get up to 5 mil. 5 mil. This is 200k more than what they're asking on the China server. 200k more. Now, this guy who I thought was a friend, but turns out he's just a greedy player. The lowest price that he would offer to somebody who he considered a mate was 7 mil because of how rare this Divine is. Because it's so rare, it's actually worth 8 months rent money. Now that's how much it costs to purchase the amount of money he wants off you in this game. That's not even a lie. Anyway, well, it might be a little bit overpriced, maybe about 6 months to be accurate. My rent's about 300 and something. I think it's about 350, something like that, you know what I mean? He's looking at £1,750 worth of money, so let's be accurate about it. So we'll bring it up to 400k rent. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. 5 months rent. That's what he wants for this Divine, okay? His lowest to a friend. Because another player who's really not a nice player called Shinobi and their army of let's kill everybody who isn't in our guild situation that we've been fighting for the last 3 years. He's offered a ridiculous amount of money because he earns quite a lot of money and can afford to pay over the odds, you know what I mean? He could buy things at ridiculous prices, like 5 times more than what it's actually worth. But, yeah, so because of that, greed took over and he decided he wanted to make as much money as he could out of it, even to go as far as trying to grab every last possible penny you can out of a friend. Even when you know they've literally gone, you've seen my videos, you've seen how low my money was when I've got on trade, less than, what, a week, 2? Something like that, you know what I mean? And then you've seen my money in my recent videos, you can see it now, I've brought it on my screen. I am at 4 mil, 911,000. I do have money on my outs from my last world tour. I have around 30 or so outs. They all get 100 gold each. Some of them, I believe, might be officer or elder. Actually, I think I might have removed the officer and elder rank from them. So I've got 30 of them that are getting 100 gold each. Most of them are in World Tour. But let's say if there's only 20 in World Tour, that's 200k. And I am, of course, registered for this week's World Tour, which starts today, Mondays. So I've got to do this one very soon. I have to do my daily tests because I haven't done them yet. And, yeah. So I'm literally 4 days off actually hitting the 5 mil. I'm at 4 mil, 900,000. So even at what I currently have, it's still more than the asking price that they're asking on the China server, as I proved in the video. I also proved that they are selling Heaven and Earth God Divine. You can see in my video of me collecting the shards. Where is it? I have to go to my Divine list. you can see my video of me collecting the shards to get this. You can see that when I obtain it, this divine is unbound. And this divine is really, really easy to get. At least I have no problems getting it. And I did it in a week. From 0 shards to 20 shards unlocked. So, yeah. I decided that there are some people who are saying that they are still having troubles getting the key item to get these divines. And because I'm not a greedy player, and because you've seen from other videos of me selling and giving away Jade Sword, a couple of players I gave it to, I think one of them I may have had to sell because I was literally like super low on money, and there were people who wanted stuff off me and I couldn't afford the tax to give it to them, the players who couldn't afford any money. So on those ones, so one of my divines, my Jade Sword, I sold, I think it might have been like 200k or something like that. So it wasn't like super overpriced, like 1 mil or 3 mil or some crap like that, like most people try to pull. You know what I mean? And then the other 2 Jade Swords, I literally gave them away. Remember, the more money you spend, the more it costs in tax. So, yeah, I've decided, if anybody needs this divine, they're having problems getting it or whatnot, whatever reason, just contact me and I'll get these divines and give you them. Because it's not that hard for me to do. You know what I mean? It's really, really easy. Soon it'll be easy to get things like Heaven Sword and Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer is the OP damage divine. Of course, you've got Heaven Sword, which is just a stun and a heal combination. Which, when you think about it, is useless when you're up against Dragon Slayer. Because all you gotta do, man, they use a fucking stun and a heal. As soon as that stun ends, right, if you're still alive, and normally if you've got Dragon Slayer, your stats are gonna be pretty high anyways. But if you're still alive after that, you haven't got to wait for them to, like, go on the attack again with full HP. You use your divine, bang, they're dead. That's the effect of Dragon Slayer. Now, of course, if you're a low might, it'll be very low effective. And you want to build your character not for tanking or anything like that. You want it to be pure damage built only. Because the higher your character's damage is, the more damage the God Divine does. Because it does 600 times more damage plus damage over time. That's what it does. And those damage over time are multiplied by the amount of your base damage. Or your character's stat damage. Which is why when somebody like a Dimmer uses it, it'll one-shot you. So yeah, to get this divine, which isn't that good, but they are being charged at like 2 mil. I'll go around and give them away to whoever needs it, so contact me down below, let me know what you think about the rant video. It's a little bit different, hopefully you find it entertaining, educational, and yeah, nice little expose video to the greedy fuckers who try to leech every last penny they possibly can out of someone. In other words, rip them off. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye for now. And to you greedy fuckers, you can shove it up your ass.